Hello and welcome back. I'm Mondef, of course, and I'm back on the Utopia server playing Feed the Beast Ultimate Pack, and we've done a little bit of work, not a ton. You can see Palm's got some work done skinning his project here, starting to make it look nice. He wants to try to figure out where everything's going to go before we start laying down systems. Otherwise, stuff will get in the way of each other, so it's a smart way to do it. Mally has gone crazy with her bees. Let me just kind of give you an idea here. Oh, meadows, yeah, wow, crazy. Oh no, I think those are producing honey for her. Here we got industrious, which we had before. Some imperials. Here we got bauxite. Those produce bauxite, would you guess it? This one here, rusty. I think that's copper. I don't know what that one produces. Resilient. She's got a whole bunch of different, I think these are her mutator ones, so she's doing those manually. Here, resilient, more resilient. So I know she's told me that we have all the bees to make iron, copper, and tin, and bauxite. So she's working on more, but it's quite a bit of different types of bees, and it's going to be a lot of materials. Now, in order to process these materials, I want to start producing an automatic processing system. Now, we're going to need two different systems, and let's talk about this here for a second. If we come into NEI and we take a look at, say, iron ore right here. I just right-clicked. I needed to left-click. There we go. Actually, no, I didn't want to right-click. Uses for iron. Iron can be processed a number of different ways. We could do it with the Nemsun, and there's no smelting time. As soon as you get 7, bam, 7 iron. Of course, that consumes coal, and you're getting 1-to-1, which is kind of a bad ratio. You could smelt it just as vanilla smelting. We could do that. Again, bad ratio, 1-to-1. Here in a pulverizer, we start getting some interesting choices. We could pulverize this into iron and to get 10% chance to get ferrous. We could do this in an induction smelter, get our 2 iron, and then use rich slag, and then use that rich slag with iron or with some other ore that was less common, like gold or, I don't know, copper or something like that, and get 3. This is the best ratio right here, 1-to-3, but of course that takes a 1-to-2 and then a 5% chance, so you could get the third one. So, yeah. So basically, this is a 5% chance for 2 iron ingots to become 5 iron ingots. It's not a great chance, but you know, it's all right. It's okay. Macerator, of course. We could do this in a slag furnace and get stone from it. Kind of pointless. This is where things get a little bit crazy. The grinder. I have a 140% chance to get this. It's not quite, you know, it's not quite 200%, but I have a 140% chance to get dirty iron gravel. Now, if I look at that one, and we could just smelt that, we'd have 140% iron ingots in a number of different places, but we could also mix this. And if we mix it, which just takes water, which is renewable, and we get clean iron chunks. We get these 1-to-1, so we're still at 140% chance from the original ore. We smelt that, we could get iron, or we could put it in a slag furnace, and now we have a 142% chance in both slots to get reduced iron chunks. And then if we take those reduced iron chunks and we put them in a crystallizer, we have a 150% chance to get crystalline iron. This is a really long chain, and it's really, shall we say, convoluted. But it does yield the most amount of ingots from your ore form. So that's the first processing system I want to start working on. This processing system does come from factorization, which is the same mod that the routers have come from, so I've prepared a number of different things that I think we might need to start working on this. And, you know, we'll get things rolling in the right direction. The first thing that we need to do is run power from our power source, which is underneath here. Go ahead and do that. and we need to get it out to where we want to put the processing station. I do want it to be visible. I could bury the whole thing, but I want it to be visible. I want it to be out here on one of these sides. So I want to leave these, probably these 3 open, no matter what we put in here. Which leaves these little arcs in here to start putting stuff. So I think I want this one, let's put it here. So we're going to need the power to start coming up right, let's call it there. That's where we need power to come up. That's where we're going to start placing machines. We'll place, we'll start, I don't want to place them because we'll have to pick them back up, but that's where we'll put the grinder, and then we'll put some more as they go across there. Now some of you out there are thinking, well, you know, it doesn't take Minecraft joules to run this. It takes factorization power, and you know, you're right. But I do have a plan to fix that. Factorization power, if you produce it the way its mod author intends, I guess is the best way to say that. Oh, are you kidding me? I'm 1 short. Actually, that's okay. Actually, we don't need this one. We actually want... Actually, I think we need these 2 back. You have to produce... To do this the way that the mod author wrote it, the way they produce power in their mod, is with a solar turbine. This guy over here. But the solar turbine requires a renewable water source, and also mirrors, and also sunlight. It's an incredibly awkward system, I think. Actually, you know what? Let me rearrange this a little bit. And I think I have some lead wire. I need some lead wire as well. Yeah, there we go. Let me grab that too. All right. It's an incredibly awkward system because you have to have the renewable water source, and then you have to have, you know, the mirrors, and you have to have a lot of space to set everything up, and it gets weird when you want to try to bury power or not have things visible. Like, I really don't want to put a solar generator up here. So I already have this energy tesseract, which comes from my energy storage tower, and we have the energy conversion mod, power converters. And to do this, the way these work is, first you have to make a consumer. So BC, buildcraft, power consumer. So we'll consume buildcraft power. So now that'll go into the, well, it doesn't go anywhere right now. Right now this is just connected to buildcraft power. In order for this thing to work at all, you need a bridge. So we'll consume buildcraft power, pump it into the bridge. So here you can see it's in. Right now it's not taking in any power because that is not set correctly. So we should see that when I click that, it turns orange. Now power should be coming out of there. So now we should get power in here. Oh, I see what I did. I need to drop this one. Tesseracts only output or power or items or whatever. Oh, I need to drop it too, I guess. From one face. So it was ejecting power into the ME controller, so it wasn't able to pump it out sideways too. This will allow us to pump power into here. So out of the Tesseract with this pipe, into the ME network here, and also over to here. So now we should have power. There we go. You can see percent charge. This is now fully charged, which is great. Now I have energy bridge power. Power converters power, which will turn into, with this guy right here, this is, well, that is a factorization consumer. It's going to consume power from the network to produce FZ, factorization power, which we will use to run our machines. So it's pretty easy, not too horrible, I don't think. And I do want to get some... Why is there cobblestone under here? I want to get some cobblestone. Good to go. I don't know why there's cobblestone under there, over there, but there we go. Like that. Now we are in business. Get up here. Up we go. So now we've got factorization power, which runs through lead wire. And you can see it attached to the face of the energy bridge over there. So that's good. And this is where we're going to place our first machine in the line, which is the grinder. Now, I haven't actually tested to make sure that the grinder connects to power that way. It looks like it does. Let's go ahead and let this close. Yeah, it looks like it does. It looks good. The best way to test it would be just to throw a piece of ore in there. So let's grab... Do we not have power? What's going on? Power is low. That is not a good thing. Are any of these on? Our drives are off. There's not enough power. Ha. It's interesting. Let's try power cycling the network. And we can just go ahead and turn this off and then turn it back on. That connects, of course, to the start cable that we have down here, which turns the whole network off and on again. Still not enough power, which is a problem. Let's see, is the problem with the conduit, or is the problem the fact that we're powering the power converter now as well? Let's go ahead and get rid of that. I want you back. Come back to me. There we go. So now, do you have enough power to run? Power is still low, 0 units per tick. Why? Oh! People are, yeah, I suppose I should probably set this to receive only power. Check. There we go. We have power again. Alright. Nice. Well done, me. Where are we at here? Alright, so we got stuff. What was I looking for? An ore. Right, iron ore. Just want a little bit here. I'm just going to test little bits at a time, make sure every step along the way works correctly. That should start running. Oh, I disconnected this, didn't I? There we go. Are you running? You're not running. Bizarre. Oh. Let's go ahead and replace this cable with a battery box. That's why I grabbed that one. Let's see if that will power it. That powers it. Okay. So, that's fine by me. That's not a big deal. We can have that battery box underneath there. Alright, great. So the grinder runs. And we're producing dirty iron. Grossness. Let's just go ahead and wait. Almost done. Here we go. Here we go. Dirty iron gravel. Perfect. Now, to work with the dirty iron gravel, we could smelt it and we could get iron out of that. But this is only, again, this is only 140 to 1%. 140 to 1. We need to clean it, which is what we do with this mixer. This mixer is a cleaner, and it takes three things. It takes your dirty gravel, and it takes a water bucket, and oh, that's it. Just that, I think. Is that right? Let me see. Let's check this. Uses for this. I want to make sure there's not like two recipes, one that's more efficient than the other. No, that's it. Just water and a dirty iron. Just that. Just like that. So that'll run. Now, this should be powered because it's connected to that, which is powered. I believe that's right. I believe that's how this one's getting powered. You can see I don't have any wiring going to it directly. I believe it's feeding power through the grinder to power the mixer. Okay. So good. We got stuff going in. Now, we need to deal with two things right now. The first is that I don't want to have to put things into the grinder. So that's something that we're going to need to solve. We might as well solve it now as long as we're getting the system started here. The second thing we need to solve is the fact that this mixer gives you the empty bucket and you need to fill it back up with water and put it back over here. So these are two issues that we need to address now before we continue laying out more machinery. The first one's easy. We've done it before. It's not an import. I actually need an export bus. Let's see here. Dark cable, conversion matrix, processor, interface. Let's see, storage. These are all storage segments. Export bus. What do we need for the import? The export. Are these the same recipe? Oh, one's a sticky piston, one's not. Okay. The export bus. We need a little bit of iron and an ME interface, which should be coming from here. There's the interface. We need a piece of glass. We need some iron. So we'll grab a little bit of iron. We'll grab some glass. Eventually I'm going to get these things moved off of these project tables. I'm just using them so much right now that, is that a regular piston? Yeah, it is. I'm using them so much right now that it makes sense to leave them over there. Nope, no pistons in there, so a little bit of cobble. Give me some wood. There we go, and redstone. Just one piece will do. And there's the piston. And we're up here. There's my ME export bus. Alright. There's a few different ways that we could do this, but I think the export bus is going to be the easiest. And now we no longer need this block or that block. Let's tuck it behind. Let's do that. Oh, that's where the cable's mounted to. Darn. Well, we can move the cable. That's not a problem. Get rid of those. We can mount the cable there. Yeah. That should work. And then we can come up here with this, and we also need to grab our ME cabling and get this wired here, down underneath, connect, and we'll go around, and then we'll portable hole down in there and we'll get it connected. Oops. Maybe if I can see what's going on. Is it there? Did that connect? No? That one? Now it's connected? That looked okay. Let's take a look at it from up here. Yep, that looks right. I love this portable hole. Oh, so nice to have this. You gotta get yourselves one of these. If you don't have a portable hole, have one. It'll change the way that you work with this stuff. It really, really will. Alright, so I'm just gonna come across right underneath the power conduit line. And we're gonna connect this. Probably just go right there and then come up underneath here and connect it. That'll be connected to the network now. So we should see that. That should be our only export bus on the network. There it is. Export bus. Good to go. Very nice. Very good. So that is connected now. Now the export bus has an interface, has 6 slots, so you can tell it to export 6 things from the network to be put into the grinder. You can tell it to do single items at a time, or you can tell it to move entire stacks. So if I tell it iron, this should get filled with a whole stack of iron. Is that really all the iron ore we have left in the storage? Are we out of iron? I mean, ore. So we've been processing these manually, so I wouldn't be surprised if we are about out of iron ore. Looks like it. That did not put it where I wanted it to, though. Put it in the output. Shoot. Does it need to go in the bottom? Or the top? Well, darn. I think it needs to go in the bottom. Let's go ahead and put that there. That didn't connect the way I wanted it to. Connect it to the battery. Need it connecting to the grinder. Like that. There we go. We're going to have to refigure out the powering situation. I'm going to have to move power. Maybe we bring power up here and wire it into there. If this works. Let's go ahead and get back underneath there. Yeah, this is... I was kind of hoping these things would be a little bit more intelligent than this so that it wouldn't put it where it put it. So let's just go ahead and put one in here. That should get put into... Still got put in the output! No! No! Oh no. How about the top of the grinder? Up there! Oh no. If this isn't gonna work, I'm not gonna be a happy camper. We only need one. Alright, okay. So it has to go on the top of the grinder. That's too bad. The side or the bottom would have been far more convenient, but that's the way life goes. At least we can keep our power underneath there. Right there. And we have to put the battery block back. There we are. I do have 2 of these, I don't know if you saw. There we go. Alright, so we should be back to being powered, and now we're feeding it with items. That's a little bit ugly, but it's what it's got to be, since you can't feed it into the side or from the bottom, so from the top only. Alright, so that's too bad. That makes me a little bit sad. Shoot. You know what I didn't consider? The fact that we got to get items out of here and put them into there. This has got to move. This is going to have to move over one there, so we can pump things from here to there. Let's see if a standard wooden pipe, there it is, standard wooden pipe and an Antarctic gate will work for us. These are machines that I've always wanted to set up a advanced smelting system like this, but I've never actually gone to automate it. So signal off, energy pulse. Let's give it 1 piece of iron. Let's see what happens. This will take a minute to grind through that. Here it goes. It has a little bit of spin up time, so actually as lots of ores come into it, it'll actually run faster than if you put 1 ore in it at a time. So there we go. And then it processes. That's done. That should pump it out. Put it right into... the wrong spot! No! Oh man, that's terrible. It's absolutely horrible. It's got to go in the top again, doesn't it? Shoot. Oh man, that's terrible. That is absolutely ridiculous. Alright, what's the best way to do this then? I don't want to add more pipe travel time with Buildcraft pipes, because I'd have to either put it 2 blocks away so that I could pump it out and then up and then over and then down into it without it being attached directly from... Like if I put a wood pipe here and then I put, you know, a pipe for it to come up and around, there's no saying it wouldn't just go straight into here. Which is a problem. So I'd have to put it 1 further away, pipe it up and over, or I could use a red power filter device, which would mean I'd have to run a redstone clock or control some sort of redstone pulsing mechanism to make it move it from the grinder to the mixer, or I could use a router. So you guys probably know what I'm going to use. Yep, I'm going to use a router. Might as well. Getting hungry here. Can't sprint anymore. It's crazy, once you get used to the sprint assist, either of the quantum boots or of these power armor suits, everything after that is just too slow. It's just way too slow. Oh, the battery block, what am I doing? A battery block. The mixer. Mixer, there we go. And a router. Okay, so we're gonna need 2 upgrades for this router, if we're going to use it this way. You know what I'm wondering right now that I have that up there? I'm wondering if the mixer can take items from the bottom. So let's test that first, because if it can, this would be a much easier setup than using the router to do it for us. So let's do that, give it 1 more piece of iron, and let that guy spin up. Run our test here. I'm going to go with, if the grinder doesn't take items from the bottom, I'm going to assume the mixer doesn't either, only accepts items from the top. So we'll find out in a moment. If it does only take items from the top, I'm going to have to make a couple router upgrades to manage the network. Oh, you can see there I got 2 for 1. 1 iron, I got 2 pieces of things. And yeah, into the right side, which means that's no good. Alright. I'm going to craft some router upgrades. We're going to use that configuration we were sitting with earlier. Alright, I have a machine filter and an ejector, so those are both ready to go. the filter, the ejector we've used before, so eject to bottom, that'll put it into here, and the, oops, no, into bottom. The machine filter we haven't used before. This tells it where to get stuff from. So this is telling us to, oh no, this is telling us where to, yeah, extract. Where to extract stuff from. Extract from the grinder. Visit all says visit all grinders. If I only wanted it to visit certain ones, there are ways I could have it do that, but I want it to visit all the grinders it can find. It'll only ever be this one, not a big deal. And we'll come back to the top, extract. We don't want to extract from the top, we want to extract from anywhere it can find it inside of this mixer. So this is an input. Actually, that might count. We might just say this should be slot 0 and slot 1. We might just say slot from slot 1. There we go. Now I don't have to worry about it. It'll always extract from here, and then push it and push it into there. Let's go ahead and test it. Always have to test these things. But yeah, that should work. I could actually, now that I'm like playing with routers in this setup, I could actually, I just think this is ugly, I could put a router down in here, and probably right behind this, right here where this cable is, and have all of this up underneath there so that it's not visible. Or I could stack another router right next to this and have it just put everything into the grinder, but I don't know, we'll see how that works. There we go, dirty iron gravel right there into that place. Perfect. That's exactly what we needed. Now, the next step here is a little bit awkward, because we need to fill up a bucket of water. So I'm going to try something I haven't ever done before. I know it's possible, just not positive on how we need to go about doing it. I think we need 2 valves, an aqueous accumulator, 2 buckets of water, and some building blocks. Let's use cobblestone for now. We can always change it later. Okay, building blocks. Here we go. Oh, you know, I do not need this rotten flesh. Go away. Alright. I'm going to make a very small liquid tank. And I don't know where. I think I want it underground here. I really don't care to see the liquid tank. I don't need it. I don't want it. Let's go ahead and let's see. That cable is mounted right there to that point, which isn't good for me. Can I break this? No, not from here. Let's go ahead and mount that to the other side. I've moved this cable like how many times? 10 times now. Put that there. Go down right here. Should be able to pick that up. Good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, yeah, I think we want to put this liquid tank under here. Yep. And right underneath here, I think, is where we need the, where did it go? I didn't pick it up today. Nope, I didn't pick it up. This is from Zycraft. I think it's the item IO, but I'm pretty sure it's not the liquid detector. I'm pretty sure it's the item IO. I'm not positive how this works. If you haven't guessed, it's just sitting around and it's like, maybe. I'm pretty sure this doesn't do anything until it's hooked up to, until it's part of a tank, part of a Zycraft tank. So I'm going to go ahead and set up a very, very small Zycraft tank here. It's basically going to be this block, that block, over to there, over to here, and back. So the walls will sit up underneath here. Now we do need a 1 block of air in the middle of a Zycraft tank in order for it to count as a tank. So that'll be my block of air right there. I should be able to close this in like that. Place a valve here. That should initialize as a tank. No. Doesn't like an empty hand. No. Will that work better if it's here? Initialize. Be a tank. Do you not like one of these block types? Well, that's not a full tank, is it? Right there. That would need this here. Now it should be a full tank. Be a tank. No. Why not? your full tank, your full block, minus the hole of air in the middle. The air hole in the middle, right? Yeah, I mean that's a solid block, minus the air in the middle. I don't know why that won't form into a block, into a tank. That was a valve, right? That was a valve, yeah. Give me it back. Give me it back. Okay. Let me see if I can figure this out. I'm wondering right now whether it's the CF, if the CF cannot be used in a tank. So, give me a second to figure out why this won't initialize into a tank. I'll be right back. I went done goofed. Yeah, that's the best way I can say that. You know how I put the, what is this thing called? The item IO, right underneath the mixer? That's not where I need it anyways, and actually it can't go right here. It needs to go there. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out my portal gun, or my grabby gun, rather. We're going to put this block there. Nope. Oh no, oh no, oh no, that's not at all what I wanted to do. Where does you go, block? Attach to the ceiling now. Did I shoot it into oblivion? No way! No way! Look guys, I have one of these blocks. It's in my inventory. It's unnamed. That's awesome. Oh no! It's black. Oh shoot. Alright, all this is getting covered up anyway. That's what I'll just say myself that. It's all getting covered up. Place is black. Alright, cool. That's a funny bug. Item IO, okay. So yep, item IO goes up, and the valve comes here, and then the rest of this gets filled in with blocks, like this. The goof that I made is that the item IO and the valve have to touch the air on the inside of the tank. So there you go, piece of cake, nice and initialized. And now we've got a tank up here, and it covers this whole area. This is our tank. Perfect. We want this tank to be constantly full of water, so we're going to use an aqueous accumulator to do that. If you need water for pretty much anything, the aqueous accumulator is basically your only right choice. It's the best way to create water. The only output we're interested in is the back. That's the bottom, the top, the left, the right. We only want it going into the back, right into the back of there. And then we're going to put a little dealy there, and we'll put them like this. And I don't need this one. And I've got my bucket of water. Bucket of water right there, and be closed. Don't knock down all my torches, please. Oh good, right into those little holes. It's like it was designed for that. Oops, nope. There, and like, that's not the block that I wanted to put there. Like that. There we go. Perfect. Let me go! Okay. Up. Up. There we go. Okay, so this should now be filling with water. There we go. Haha. I did forget a block. This right here, this is a bug with the portable hole. So if you see portable holes and like you step on them, you're like, if that happens to you, you gotta fly out of it. There's a couple easy ways to fix it. The first is you just like hit the block that you know is there. If you don't want to risk doing that, you use the portable hole on the block next to it. When it comes back, it'll redraw it. It happens when you put too many portable holes like right next to each other. I forgot something. I forgot to make a fabricator, which means I gotta craft one of those quickly. If you guys haven't played with some of this stuff, this is a fabricator. This comes from Zycraft. It's one of their newer blocks. It is really, really cool. Let's see here. Engineering blocks. Don't need these. Go away. It's these, you know, if you're not into the pretty blocks or whatever, the building blocks, these are, though, I can't type and talk at the same time, apparently. If you're not into the pretty buildy blocks that Zycraft has offered for a while, these are the reasons to still collect the all of the Zycraft crystals, the Zycorium or whatever they're called, these things. Zycorium. The reason to pick these up is to make these engineering blocks, which you turn into tanks and fabricators and all sorts of good stuff. So, yes. Do we have smooth stone? Yes. Great. There's my fabricator. The fabricator is going to go here, and now we should be able to... Oh, you know, I forgot to put into here. I need a water bucket. Filled water bucket. I'm not sure this is going to work. It's not going to work. Alright. I do want to get this part. We're about out of time for today, and I do want to get this part to work today. I want to get the mixer automatically mixing and making clean iron chunks for us. So give me a minute to think about this for a second off camera, and I'll be back with a solution to our problem. Alright, so I figured out my problem. My problem is that I was trying to use one item I/O to input and to output, and because it's called an I/O, input output, I thought I was just thinking I could do that, and you could, but it'd be awkward and difficult. So I realized that adding a second one, which means I had to make the tank one bigger, and I went ahead and let this fill up off camera, is going to be the easiest solution. So yeah, we're going to use another router. Routers everywhere. This is from Factorization. This is the, I don't know if this is the way that he intended you to do this, but this will work, and I love routers, so yes. We're going to set this to extract mode. I don't care where it extracts from, anywhere, but I do care what it extracts. Item filter. So item filter. I don't want it to extract everything. I only want it to extract... let's just do this. Give me that back. I need the empty bucket. Extract empty buckets from the network. Item filter, empty buckets only. Perfect. And then we will simply grab my wrench, pump out of the router into this item I/O. And if you have an empty hand and you hold shift and right click, you can assign, you can see how it changed colors to blue and then to orange and then to white again. The blue is the input, so I can assign that to be the input and shift right click, and again assign that one to be the output. And if you just normally right click on these, you just get access to the multi-tank. You have to hold shift to be able to toggle their states. So that should go straight into there. This will come straight out. We just need our two Antarctic gates, which we can do redstone off energy pulse and redstone off energy pulse. Give me that torch back. And then what we should see, here's the test. Here's my dirty gravel, right? This is how it comes from this router into here. And then if there's a water bucket in here, it should clean it. Takes just a minute to mix it up and clean it out. The empty bucket that gets thrown over to here should get pulled out by the router, pumped into the tank. Okay, it's already gone. It's already through. It should be back into here quickly. Here it goes. Oh, it went in the output. Oh no. Oh, it's terrible. Why? Oh no. Shoot. Ah, crap. Alright, let's try something different here. Let's try... Let's see, this guy is in extraction mode, and it is set to eject to the bottom. So whenever it gets an item, it should eject it to the bottom, which means if I put a bucket directly into it, it should put it into there, which is exactly the behavior that we want. Now, I think this is an easy fix. Easy fix, here we go. What I need is a chest. Here we go, like that. Because these item outputs, when it's in output mode, it will put it into an inventory. So here we go, we can do that. Actually, now I can save the router and the item upgrade in preference for an emerald pipe. Can I? Yes, I can. An emerald pipe and an iron pipe. Here we go. Like this. put the emerald pipe here. Emerald pipes are like wooden pipes. Well, they're like the love child between wooden pipes and diamond pipes. They have filters in them, so you tell them what you want them to take out of the inventory. So there are going to be multiple different things in here. And, you know, I actually could... Actually, it might be advantageous just to use... We'll leave it like this for now. This is how we're doing it for now. Okay. Only take out those, and then we should give it in our target gates. Here we go. And set that to redstone off, energy pulse. So now energy pulses. This is set to go down into there. This should come out, get stored into here. This should pull that out of the chest, putting it into the router, which should put it into the mixer. Yes. Sure. Why not? So we'll give this a water bucket. It should go into the top slot. Perfect. We'll give this one piece of dirty iron gravel, which should put it into the top slot as well. It does. It starts mixing it. Perfect. And with any luck, we're going to have to time these against each other and make sure that we don't need any safeties or anything like that. Okay, like that. You can see that the empty bucket's already gone. It's now being pumped into the pump. It should come into the chest, which should pump it back into the router, which should put it back into here. Perfect. I'm not in love with this solution, but it works. The problem I would have with it is, what if this guy extracts from the grinder the same moment that the bucket of water is coming into it? Now the push is pretty fast, so I don't know if that's going to cause a problem or not. I'd have to test this pretty thoroughly to be certain that I shouldn't use some other method here. But I think that's the route I'm going to go with for now. I'll give this some thought between now and the next episode. But I think that'll probably be the way we go, at least for now. So, yeah. The next stage of this, which we'll get working on next time, is this clean iron chunks. We need to cook this in a furnace, and that we're just going to manage like a regular furnace. And then we're going to do the... and then we have to crystallize it, which we have to run a heater in order to run the crystallizer. So we have some fun problems still coming up, but hopefully this should get us going. Just to recap what we did, we have the ME network feeding the grinder all of, in this case we'll set this to iron ore. So we have it feeding all of the iron ore. I'm going to go ahead and remove this for now because I don't want this running until we have a chance to test it thoroughly. This guy pulls everything out of the grinder and pushes it into the crystallizer. Empty buckets come out the back, go into the tank, come out into this chest, get pumped back into the router, which put it back into the mixer as a full water bucket. So every time this gets a new piece of dirty iron, it should go ahead and run and create more sludge and more clean iron chunks. We'll have to process these further, but that'll be a process for another day. Hope you guys liked this episode. I didn't plan this whole thing out beforehand because you guys told me that you like seeing me test stuff. So this is how I test stuff. I build it and test it and then tear it apart and build it again and then test it and then tear it apart and build it again and test it. So if you guys as long as you guys like testing, we're going to keep building like this. And we'll work on the rest of the system next time, which will be the slag furnace, which should be easy, and then the crystallizer, which who knows how difficult that one's going to be. If you guys do like this video, let me know, either with the comments or with that like button. Either way, it makes me very happy to see those things happen. I'm Mondef. I'll see you guys next time.